What's up everybody, Sean here and thank you for joining me. Today we are going to look at what is currently my favorite watch from Orient right now. Yes, it is a few watch and it is the Orient Star Sports Outdoor. But before we get into that, let's do a wristwatch check, and today I am wearing the Orient Kano, which I am reviewing right now, and the review will be coming out very soon. So if you've already seen my review on the Orient Defender II, you know that I love field watches even more so than dive watches. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can catch it right up there. So it's no surprise that the Orient Star Sports Outdoor is in fact my favorite watch from Orient, and especially the model that I am reviewing today, which is the PVD Blue Dial Blue Strap version. This particular watch was actually a gift from someone who knew that I was actually eyeing it for quite a while, and I'm very grateful for that. So this isn't a sponsored review, as I personally own this watch even though it was gifted to me. Having had it for several months now, it's finally time for me to give my opinion on it. So this watch comes in a case size of 41mm, a lug to lug distance of 49mm, a lug width of 21mm, a thickness of 12.1mm. The case is made of stainless steel and it has an AR coated sapphire crystal with a screw down display case back. It features an automatic movement, the F6N43, which is hacking and hand winding, and has a power reserve indicator. At full charge, this watch runs for 50 hours at 3 Hz with a water resistance rating of 100 meters and a recommended retail price of 1,083 Singapore dollars, but you'll probably be able to find it at quite a good discount. The Orient Star Sports Outdoor, or Outdoor as I shall call it in this review, is a line of Flieger-inspired outdoor watches with field watch characteristics. This is quite a departure from the conventional Orient Star line, which consists mostly of dress watches, dressy sports watches, and dive watches. Now featuring the premium quality and finishing typical of Orient Star watches, the outdoor range represents a very interesting field watch that rivals the offerings of many other Swiss and Japanese brands in this price range. This watch comes in 7 different models with quite an assortment of dial color and strap combinations, 2 of which come in a stainless steel case with a leather strap, each having either a black dial with white indices and a black leather strap, or a blue dial with white indices and a brown leather strap. Another 2 come in a stainless steel PVD case with brown leather straps of a slightly different shade, one with a green dial and the other having a sort of faded brown dial. Both feature vintage Lume style indices. Another 2 also come in a stainless steel PVD case, but this time with a nylon leather composite NATO strap. One comes with a blue dial and white indices paired to a blue strap, while the other has a textured dark grey dial with vintage Lume indices matched to a khaki coloured strap. Both options also come with an additional black nylon leather composite NATO strap. Finally, there is also a limited edition model which comes in a stainless steel PVD case and brown leather strap. This one features a cream colored dial with vintage Lume indices, but it appears to be no longer available. Since I love blue however, obviously I went for the blue dial, blue strap version, so that's what we'll be reviewing today. On my 6.25-inch wrist, this 41mm watch wears very comfortably and nicely. I actually find that 41mm coupled with a 49mm lug to lug distance is the perfect in-between size for me when it comes to wearability and having a large dial. While the lugs do curve down quite a bit, they do still end up a bit higher than the exhibition case back. The NATO strap does add to how high it sits on my wrist, but the watch itself being only 12.1mm thick does help to make it feel pretty acceptable. The case itself is made of stainless steel and is PVD coated to give it a very nice stealthy look. If you are worried about wear however, the non-PVD version would almost definitely be more durable. Having said that though, I've actually knocked mine about quite a bit more than I would have liked to so far, and the coating has yet to show any signs of visible wear. I can't say the same for the hardware of the strap however, but we'll get to that later. In terms of case finishing, this is easily my favorite in my collection. While the bezel, sides and top of the lugs are very nicely straight brushed, the beveling in between them is mirror polished with very clearly defined edges. At the lugs, this beveling maintains an equal width all the way along the curve of the lug, giving it an extremely clean look. I've yet to see this level of finishing on another few watch in this price range, but if you have, please let me know which watch it is in the comments below. The back of the case is also PVD coated and mirror polished, however the exhibition case back is a circular brushed steel piece. One minor inconvenience of going with the NATO strap version is that you'll have to remove the strap in order to admire the movement through the glass display back. It is worth doing so every once in a while though, as this movement is actually quite a lot more decorated than you would expect. You won't have this problem with the leather strap version though. At the 3 o'clock, we have a large chrysanthemum shaped screw down crown, very flieger-like and easy to operate even with gloves on. The top of the crown is flat and signed with the Orient Star logo and combines to give it a 100-meter water resistance rating. To top it off, we have a large flat AR coated sapphire glass which does sit ever so slightly above the bezel. Now I think this dial gives off Rolex Explorer-like vibes, and it is in fact what drew me to this watch in the beginning, that and the blue dial and strap. Actually, to be more accurate, the 12, 3, 6 and 9 numeral dial is even more like the Tudor Heritage Ranger, which I just so happen to prefer over the Explorer. Combined with a slightly larger size and a flieger-like crown, you get a nice mix of feel and pilot watch styling and practicality. The dial is very legible as a result of its clean layout. We have a flat sunburst blue dial that is quite subtle as it isn't the very reflective type. Applied on it, we have thin long pill-shaped indices along with the numerals all covered in a white lume. We also have a very simple chapter ring printed around the edge of the dial. A beveled date window at the 3 o'clock obscures nothing thanks to the large dial, and we have a power reserve indicator printed in white beneath the 12 o'clock marker. At the 6 o'clock, we have the Orient Star logo, name, and a line of text that says automatic, also printed in white. The semi-skeletonized sword hands are very well chosen for this style of watch, along with the very long seconds hand. The sword hands are brushed silver at the edges, while the counterbalance is painted in black with lume generously filling the inner surface of the hands. The lume on this watch is one of the best that I have seen so far, as is with most Orient Star Sports watches. It charges up very quickly and shines very brightly, which is more than I can say for some other popular field watches, including Orient's own Defender II that I previously reviewed. As many of you already know, I love Orient Star movements. They are very accurate and well made for the price. This one hacks, hand winds and self winds, has improved shock protection over the standard Orient movements, and it has a 50-hour power reserve when fully charged up. I also love having a power reserve indicator as I tend to rotate my watches around quite frequently. For a field watch, this particular movement also does seem to be excessively decorated in my opinion, but it's actually quite lovely to look at on the days that I actually bother enough to remove the strap. Now don't be fooled by this strap though, it is not your ordinary NATO strap. This is actually a composite leather-backed strap and is very well made. I am not too sure about the short inner bit though, as they decided to have the canvas side on your wrist instead of the leather side. I'm not sure if this was intended or not, but I would have preferred the feel of leather on my skin. Maybe they felt it would absorb sweat better. And now I'm wondering how I'm supposed to wash this half leather strap. Well, luckily it comes with a second identical strap in black. The hardware and sign buckle are PVD coated to match the case, and like I mentioned earlier, while the case has yet to show signs of wear, I am already seeing some wear on one of the keepers. This keeper tends to be the one in contact with the surface when I am typing out scripts like this one, so I guess it shouldn't be any surprise anyway. Do take note though that these are 21mm lug widths that Orient has a tendency of using, so aftermarket options will be slightly more limited, although they have become quite a bit more available in recent years. So, what's my verdict on this watch? Well, to be honest, this is currently my favorite watch from Orient, and definitely one of my top 3 favorites in my collection at this moment. As a tool watch, it ticks all the boxes by being well sized, highly legible, and built to handle outdoor usage. All that along with a level of quality and finishing that easily matches, or you might even argue exceeds that of similarly priced Swiss options, really makes this a very compelling offering. It is also a highly versatile watch that can be worn in plenty of situations, from sports to casual, and even in certain office situations, especially if you go for the leather strap version. And so that wraps things up for today's video. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.